Hello and welcome, I'm SimUK, and it is my goal to provide to you the most honest, fact-based critical reviews on YouTube. If you find this review helpful, then please hit that like button, subscribe, and help to support the channel by donating via the links below. Thank you so much, and enjoy the review. I think few people would argue that WRC 8 delivered the toughest,
flat right and left 6 long, tightens and right 5, 30.
the most technically demanding,
4 widens at junction, 50. Right 5 into left 6 over crest.
and outright thrill-inducing racing game on the planet.
Left 4 long, opens, 50.
Well, now it's back, and it's better than ever. If you were a massive fan of WRC 8, then you don't even need to watch a review, because WRC 9 is almost identical to WRC 8 in terms of physics, handling, graphics and tracks, but it does include numerous positive additions which further bolster content, enhances the realism and intensifies immersion. In short, WRC 9 retains all of the best bits of WRC 8 and adds more content, more features and more options.
And right 60. Left 4 brake, tightens short into right 4 over crest, very long, tightens.
As WRC 9 is officially licensed, we can enjoy all of the official drivers and cars across 4 classes, and whilst Fanatec officially support this WRC series, you can get an awful lot out of this SimK title with as little as a stool and a G29. Although I would highly recommend you consider getting a handbrake of some sort. Now, I did call WRC 9 a Simcade and not a simulator, for the same 2 reasons that I said this with WRC 8. The car physics are not quite right in my opinion. The cars still lack weight, and as such they can be very twitchy and lack grip at times. Like I said, the handling and the physics are almost identical to WRC 8. The other area where I feel that WRC 9 needs to improve in order to reach that pinnacle of simulator is within the audio. What is here is pretty good when it's working. I have had numerous audio bugs in the preview version that I've been playing, but there are also a lot of noticeable gaps in the audio. A lot of missing bangs, squeaks, suspension compression and ambient audio, which would otherwise push the immersion envelope to that very next level, but sadly it's not quite there yet. Having said that, what I find really interesting for me is that despite these limitations, WRC 9 is by far my most favourite rally game to play. It is so fast, so rewarding, and the tracks are brutally unforgiving, and I absolutely love it. WRC 8 had an incredibly immersive and rewarding career system, and WRC 9 has enhanced that aspect of the game, delving ever deeper to provide an even more realistic rally team career mode as you work your way up the rankings from Junior WRC or WRC 3 if that's what you choose, right the way through to the main WRC events. You are still responsible for the staff that you employ and your budget, and the career still retains training and those quirky and enjoyable mini-events that help keep you fresh and engaged. Although some of the career objectives I still find a little obscure, they just feel too arcadey for me, and the R&D tree remains largely unchanged. Another new addition are the Extreme Conditions special events. These can include weather conditions, damage to your car, or even both, and they will severely hamper your progress and further highlights the very extremes to which Rally and WRC 9 can deliver. A similar vein exists on track. Destructive elements behave a little more realistically this year, dishing out damage accordingly based on the obstruction that you've hit and how you've hit them. And whilst I think more could be done in this area to further enrich the damage modelling system, there certainly is enough here to encourage you to take it a little bit easier. During rally events, you will occasionally pass DNF opponents with realistic debris scattered about, Sadly, I don't think that driving over the debris can actually cause you a slow puncture, but this happens so rarely that it's kind of hard to test whether that's the case or not. If not, then hopefully this is something that they will consider adding in WRC 10. I've got to say that the lighting in WRC 9 is greatly improved. There is a little disparity between the environment and the car itself, which is noticeable at times, and I found that the reflective road surfaces to be just too much at times. But when you get it a little bit wrong, you clip something on the side of the road that you really shouldn't have, and you flip it up and over into a continuous roll, it's the fact that the first thing that crosses your mind is just how amazing the sunlight haze looks across your dash, over and over and over again. That just confirms how much better this game looks this year.
Flat right and left 6 long, tightens, and right 5, 30.
I did find WRC 9 to be a little bit unstable,
And left 4 wide
with lots of voiceover issues, massive stutters at times, and even complete game crashes. Now, this could very well be specific to my system, or even the fact that I'm running a preview version, and I really hope that it is. The in-game wheel animations are also incredibly laboured, so much so that I had to actually change my view, something I never do in racing sims, because it was just putting me off way too much. But, thankfully, this is pretty much where the negatives end. These bugs can all be fixed with patches, and there are some more excellent improvements to WRC 9. Amongst the existing 13 rally events, WRC 9 includes 3 new rallies: New Zealand, Japan and Kenya, and they could not be more different from each other. Japan is all about tight tarmac streets and fast corners. It has so many hairpins, it will make your hair stand up on end. There are long, fast and weaving straights along some stunning environments, and these are all based around epic hill climbs and descents. New Zealand is mostly gravel on perilously tight and skinny roads. Weaving around, over and through the mountains is incredibly rewarding. It is topped off with some wonderful views, which you don't want to get too good a view of, and if you like to slide, then this is definitely the one for you. Kenya is a mixture of wide open plains, tight rocky tracks and small technical villages. There are areas so wide and open that you're just foot flat to the floor the whole way. Then there are these much tighter, trickier sections, lined either side by car flipping rocks and boulders. And in between these two extremes are small villages, where you will be avoiding markets, homes and other objets d'art. All the rally locations are faithfully recreated but not like for like, and they look spectacular. They provide incredibly challenging and rewarding experiences, but I do have a couple of personal peeves just because it all looks so good. In Kenya specifically, the dust on the windscreen is just wiped away with the windscreen wipers. I think maybe it is time that we had water squirt buttons. I'm not wholeheartedly convinced that we could just wipe the dust off without it. And when we're in locations like New Zealand, I actually want to be able to fall off of a cliff and end my rally on the very first corner. And perhaps, occasionally, I would want the AI to suffer these mistakes as well. WRC 9 certainly has a lot more to offer. Plenty of challenges which increase in difficulty as you unlock them. There is no official tutorial in the game for beginners, so this is where I would definitely recommend they start. It's a good place to find your feet. New multiplayer team creation and multiplayer rally events enable you to challenge your friends in rallies, a really great addition. I can really see WRC esports taking off in the next few years, and I honestly think that this is the year to get on board with that. Another nice new feature allows your co-driver to be one of your friends too, and although I haven't actually tried it yet, I think this is a great addition and could really spice things up, especially in that esports arena. If there was one thing that I could say was seriously missing from this game, then it would have to be head tracking. Now I know a lot of you would want to see VR in this, but unfortunately without head tracking to start, there's absolutely no chance that VR is going to be included in this game anytime soon. But head tracking these days is something so easily included into a title, I still cannot understand how titles don't put it in by default.
And left 4 widens at junction 50. Right 5 into left 6 over crest 100.
Quite
Keep
simply,
middle over jump.
WRC 9 is an absolute must-buy, especially if you are already a rally fan. There are so many small improvements which make such a huge overall difference to the game, and I'm having so much fun that I literally have blisters on both of my hands, and I don't even care. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button if you found this review helpful. If you have anything to add, if you think I have anything wrong, then please let me know in the comment section below, and I will be happy to read them. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, rally on, boys and girls. Rally on.
Right into left 4 over junction, narrows, don't cut, 40. Right 4, 30. Left 3 cut and right 3 short. And left 6 into right 3 into left 4.